yeah, so that's a little less than half my job, and that's the cool part. Junior high, less than cool. And I would say teaching junior high is really the only thing about my life in Japan that can be a source of real stress and not so much fun. It can kind of suck. And it's not that the job is bad with junior high for everyone who has my job teaching English in Japan. I teach junior high first and second years, so these are like the equivalent of 7th and 8th graders. But for many people in my position working for my company, they do a lot of team teaching, which is like you teach a class in tandem with a Japanese English speaking English teacher, and you like usually plan lessons somewhat together, and you teach the lesson together. But that's not really the case with me. I teach eikaiwa at my schools. It's English conversation, and I teach the classes and plan the classes solo. So basically, they just give me a copy of the textbook, and they're like, "We're on page 46. Make a lesson," and I have to make something for that lesson or for a review of a previous lesson. And the textbook can be really vague. Like, sometimes it's hard to figure out like what grammar am I supposed to be like having this lesson be on. So that's tough, and definitely teaching the lessons on my own is really tough. There'll be a Japanese teacher in the classroom with me, but they won't be an English teacher. They'll just be some teacher, and they're not really there to actually do anything to teach or help. And they'll help anyway with the lesson. They'll do little things, kind of like the elementary school teachers do, but pretty much they're just there to control the class and for discipline. But the thing is that they really don't do anything for the most part to discipline the kids, which is bad because I teach at a bad school. That's really the main reason my job is so hard. And I learned this the week before I started teaching. I went to this meeting with my Board of Education just to kind of get debriefed, I guess. And I was there with Amanda, whom I met at training, and they were telling Amanda, like, she's kind of out in the country, so they were like, "Oh, yes, I don't want to say your students are, country pumpkins, but I think they are good children and very honest, and talking about, how, because, like, they're kind of like country kids. They're a little simpler, but, like, nice kids." And then they turned to me, and they're like, "I think there are many naughty boys and girls at Nantoka Junior High School, but it's getting better." So, yeah, that's really the case. There are many naughty boys and girls at my school. There's a lot of discipline problems, and I think it might have something to do with, like, I'm in like a factory neighborhood. Like, there's the Honda factory is not far from me, and there's just some other factories around where I live. So it's kind of like blue collar, sort of like, so the kids are kind of rough around the edges, some of them, and they're very used to foreigners here, because I don't want to say a lot of Brazilians. Well, I do want to say there's a lot of Brazilians in the neighborhood, but I don't want you to get the idea that it's actually a diverse neighborhood, because this is Japan, where more than 98% of the population is Japanese. So they're still a small minority, but they're a bigger minority than elsewhere in Japan. So just enough that the kids are used to foreigners. So like a lot of other ALTs, like in their, if they're like in a small town, they're kind of like a celebrity. It's like, "Wow, you're the only non-Japanese person in our neighborhood. That's amazing." Whereas with me, it's like, blah, like, I'm nothing special. So that kind of puts me at a bit of a well, it doesn't put me at a disadvantage, but it's an advantage that I don't have. I don't get the magical foreigner celebrity power. Um, but yeah, I just have like a lot of tough guys in my school, and so there's a lot of kids who will be just bad, and the the teachers who are in the class with me don't really do that much about it. The first years are not so bad. The first year students, so like the seventh graders, they're not bad. Some of them are even good. Two of my classes are really good of the first years. They'll still like play the games they're supposed to be playing, and get excited about getting a prize or a sticker or whatever, and laugh if I do something goofy. But the second years can really be nightmares because there's just a lot of bad kids. There's just kind of typical school discipline problems, talking when I'm talking, and not participating. They'll get, there's a lot of like kids who will sleep in class, and there are kids who will literally laugh in my face as soon as they'll speak a word of English to me. So it can be really tough. And like with the Japanese teachers, and just like the philosophy of discipline in the classroom is very different here. Like, kids are allowed pretty much to sleep in class if they want to. And what discipline stuff there can be, like, is completely out of my hands. Like, I'm not allowed to do anything. If there's going to be discipline, it has to be the Japanese teacher doing it. And pretty much, like, the kids could be, like, having some kind of, like, Lord of the Flies shit going on. They could be, like, ready to, like, smash Piggy with a boulder, and the Japanese teacher would probably just be, like, twiddling his or her thumbs. So,